Have you ever seen our beloved god of war, Kratos, smile or even be happy? He is known for his anger and rage, apart from his full-time god-killing job. But what has made him the way he is? Of course, he has a tragic backstory, to say the least. You wouldn't know the exact series of events he went through unless you're a hardcore fan who has played all the titles of the game. So, here we are to explain why is Kratos the way he is. But before we get into his journey, let's take a quick look at who Kratos is and what he's all about. Kratos was born a demigod, which means he is part god and half mortal. His father was none other than Zeus, the king of the gods. Zeus was also the father of his brother Deimos, and when Zeus learned that one of his children was prophesied to murder him, he dispatched Athena and Ares to kill Deimos. Both of them were still children at the time, and Kratos couldn't stop them. Ares left Kratos with his first scar over his left eye, and to honor his fallen brother, Kratos gets his iconic red tattoos. When Kratos reached manhood, he had grown into an absolute brick of a Spartan soldier. He marries and has a daughter called Calliope, but she is a sickly child who catches the plague, so he sets out to find the only cure, ambrosia. On his mission, he confronts many other warriors, but ends up obtaining the mythological food, saving his daughter, and becoming a captain in the Spartan army. So far, our hero's life appears to be going well, doesn't it? But things quickly begin to go downhill from there. Kratos was an excellent soldier. He enjoyed murdering so much that he got well known for it, and became the target of a barbarian army. And despite being a demigod, he was about to lose his battle until he begged Ares to save him, pledging to serve the god of war if he saved him. Ares, who had his own plans, agreed to the deal and gave Kratos the Blades of Chaos. And by gave, I mean that he burned the chains that bind his arms so that he would never forget his pledge. Kratos then became Ares' pet, pillaging and killing in the god's name. If it wasn't already evident, these fictional gods were jerks who would wreck people's life for fun if they felt like it. Ares thought that it would be a great idea to transport Kratos' wife and daughter into the town Kratos was destroying. Kratos, obviously not expecting to see his family there, does not realize he had accidentally slaughtered his family until later. He cremates his family in a fire, where he sees a vision of Ares totally hyped about how losing his family will make Kratos a better, stronger soldier. Kratos understandably wasn't as pumped about this and swears revenge against Ares, but is also cursed by an oracle to wear the ashes of his wife and daughter on his skin for the rest of his life. Now, God of War Ascension was chronologically the earliest part of his story, set 6 months after he killed his family. Determined to get revenge, he received help from Ares' son, Orcos, who revealed Ares' actual intentions for the Spartan. He wanted Kratos to be huge, powerful, and enraged, so he could use him to slay Zeus and give Ares control of Olympus. Ares had 3 children, known as the 3 Furies, who were in charge of punishing traitors and imprisoning them beside a giant with 100 arms. And as Kratos wasn't really siding with Ares, he became their target as well. Next, Kratos is imprisoned and tormented, but eventually escapes and murders the Furies, including Orcos, who had been simply assisting the entire time. This is one of the rare occasions Kratos regrets slaying a god. Then, in God of War 1, Kratos opens up Pandora's box to gain godly powers and finally kills Ares. But he realizes that getting revenge wouldn't put an end to his pain and tries to kill himself. But fate and Athena had other plans for him, who instead makes him the new god of war. He then sets off to destroy the ambrosia that Ares' followers could potentially use to resurrect him. On the way, he visits his mother, who was on her deathbed. She was cursed by Zeus that if she ever told Kratos that he was Zeus' son, she would turn into a monster. As she was already dying, she told him the truth and also told him that his brother Deimos is alive. His mother then turns into a monster, and Kratos ends up killing yet another family member. The story continues as Deimos was being tortured by Thanatos, the death god, in his temple, and Kratos goes there to rescue him. However, Deimos wasn't really happy to meet Kratos, since he believed that Kratos never attempted to save him. This is fair, but the two fight for a while before Thanatos arrives. The brothers put up a tough fight, but it ends with Deimos getting killed. And with this, Kratos adds another reason to his growing list of reasons to despise the gods. Because God of War 2 came before Ghost of Sparta, you may pretty much disregard anything when playing this game. It begins with Kratos, still a deity, commanding a Spartan army in an assault on Athens. despite the fact that all the other gods are completely against him doing so. Zeus determines Kratos must be humbled and drains all of his god powers, bringing him the Colossus of Rhodes statue and the Blade of Olympus, which drains even more of his power to defeat the statue. After all the nerfs and being exhausted from fighting that enormous statue, Zeus appears to kill Kratos when he refuses to be his errand boy. Back in the underworld, the Titan Gaia claims she wanted to join forces with him in revenge for Zeus's overthrow of the Titans. She claims he can rewind time if he discovers the fates and retrieves the Blade of Olympus, restoring his god abilities and allowing him to defeat Zeus. Kratos sets off on a journey to discover all of these fates, but none of them want to aid him. So he murders them all and steals their time abilities. He then returns to his fight with Zeus, and this time he is prepared to win. He's about to deliver the killing stroke with the sword when Athena takes the strike for him. Zeus flees, and Athena informs Kratos that he is fated to murder him. Kratos, on the other hand, is far too enraged to care. He travels back in time once more to save all the Titans from being killed in that war, and they all team up to make one final attack on Olympus itself. Kratos leads the Titans into war against the Olympians and kills Poseidon. The ocean completely loses control, wiping out everyone in Greece. Athena appears as a ghost to help Kratos now and tells him how he can finally beat Zeus. The trick is to locate and extinguish the Olympus flame, so Kratos embarks on his quest, encountering major players along the way, such as Hades, Helios, Hermes, Hercules, Perseus, Kronos, and Hera. Each fallen god causes more turmoil in the world, such as the sun going black and epidemics sweeping the country. Kratos kidnaps Pandora, who was the only one who could put out the flame of Olympus, takes her to the flame, and has to fight off Zeus while he sacrifices herself to put it out and free the box. When the box was opened, however, it was empty. Gaia, who was still alive, strikes the two of them. Kratos wields the Blade of Olympus to finish off the pesky Titan and impale Zeus in one swift strike. Zeus, not yet done, targets Kratos' mind, clearly his weak area, with his memories. He has to face up all the terrible things he did, killing his family, and manages to escape once he learns to forgive himself. Once he snaps free, Kratos beats Zeus to death with his bare hands. Ghost Athena reappears and informs him that when he initially opened Pandora's box in the first game, it corrupted all the gods with fear but empowered Kratos with hope. She wants that power to fix the world he destroyed by slaying the gods, but Kratos doesn't let her have it. Instead, he uses it to kill himself to free himself of his unending suffering. But he had to endure more because after the credits, when we cut back to where Kratos supposedly killed himself, we find that his body is not there, and there's a trail of blood leading away. And as we all know, the God of War 2018 starts with him having a new home and family. We see him hiding his true reality from his son as he hates it and tries to keep a low profile in his new realm, as he knows the consequences of meddling with gods. But it's his fate that he can't escape, and he ends up taking on the Norse gods. And this, my dear friends, is the answer to why is Kratos the way he is. A life so tragic can only make a person so ruthless. What are your thoughts on this story? Comment down below. We'll see you next time. Until then, be a calm and reasonable person.